Hello everyone. In this video, we would like to present our assignment which assigned for chapter 10 that focusing on inflation and unemployment. Also, our group had choose unemployment in Indonesia for our assignment. This video presentation is prepared for Dr. Talani Kamri. Before we start, let me introduce our group member. Our team consists of 4 members who are Anisya Syuhada binti Muhammad LATIF, ELVINA RINA anak Stephen SINGKALANG, HASLINDA binti ABDULLAH MANAP, and me myself GELLCEA ORBIDA anak ENGKIAU. And now, let's move to the next content.
So these are the contents of our presentation. Number 1, the introduction. Number 2, the background of the country that we choose, which is Indonesia. Number 3, the graph and rate of unemployment in Indonesia. Number 4, the causes of unemployment in Indonesia. Number 5, the impacts of unemployment in society, especially in Indonesia. Number 6, the solution of unemployment in Indonesia. And last but not least, the conclusion.
First is introduction. Unemployment refers to a situation where a person is actively looking for a job but does not get the job. This causes unemployment to be considered a main measure of economic health. There are 2 categories of unemployment, such as voluntary and involuntary unemployment. This is because when unemployment is voluntary, it means that a person leaves his job willingly to find another job, while when it is involuntary, it means that a person has been fired and or laid off, and that person will try to find another job. Next is background of the country. It is Indonesia. Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world. This is said because Indonesia consists of 5 main islands and about 30 small groups. These islands are located at the intersection of 2 oceans, namely the Pacific and Indian Ocean, as well as across of 2 continents, Asia and Australia or Oceania.
Next is the graph and rate of unemployment in Indonesia. The unemployment rate in Indonesia surged to 7.07% in the third quarter 2020 from 5.28% in the same quarter a year earlier, amid the economic downturn caused by the coronavirus crisis. First quarter 2021, the unemployment rate in Indonesia increased to 6.26% from 4.94%. The unemployment rate in Indonesia dropped to 6.49% in the third quarter of 2021 from 7.07% in the same quarter a year earlier, amid an improvement in local COVID-19 situation. Also, in the first quarter of 2022, the unemployment rate in Indonesia dropped to 5.83% from 6.28%. In the meantime, the unemployment rate in Indonesia dropped to 5.45% in the first quarter of 2023 from 5.83% in the same quarter a year earlier, amid the lifting of COVID-19 restrictions. At the same time, the unemployment rate in Indonesia declined to 5.32% in the September quarter of 2023 from 5.86% in the same quarter the previous, pointing to the lowest figure since 2020. The Indonesia economy has become one of the Southeast Asia's most dynamic, including excellent economic growth and ambitious development goals. But behind the headline statistic involves a long-term issue, which is unemployment. While showing positive trends in recent years, Indonesia's unemployment rate still hovers around 5%, a statistic with significant human faces. Millions of individuals, particularly young graduates and urban citizens, faces the daily struggles of searching for a suitable job. This effort paid off with the jobless rate falling below 6% in the 2018 for the first time in the 2 decades. This progress was short-lived as the COVID-19 pandemic dealt a severe blow to the global economy, including Indonesia. Job losses surged in hospitalities, tourism, and retail sectors, pushing the unemployment rate back up to 7.2% in 2020. The post-pandemic recovery has been slow and uneven, with the 2023 figures still hovering around 5.8%. Despite recent accomplishments, there are still difficulties to overcome. This mismatch between skills and job requirement remains a major concern, with a lot of recent graduates failing to find work that match with their training.
Next, we will look into the causes of unemployment in Indonesia. The first cause is large population of people. The increase of population in Indonesia actually has a bad impact on their community life. This population density will also have an impact on the increase in unemployment. With the increasing population in Indonesia, the opportunity to get a job becomes very thin. This is because there is a lot of competition that will be present. This matter is also proven to have an impact on the level of unemployment when there are some Indonesians who migrates to other countries to find a source of income, and most of them are known as illegal immigration. The second cause is low level of education and skills. The requirement for someone to be able to easily apply and get the job must of course be based on their skills and education background. If they don't have those characteristics, don't expect them to get a decent job. Just imagine on how many primary school graduates, high school graduates, and other higher education graduates pass each year, and only those with good and excellent results mostly will face the world of work. The labor force cannot meet the needs demanded by the world of work. Most Indonesians, especially those from the rural area, do not have a very good educational background. On the contrary, they are more focused on work, and most of the work they do is not permanent. This makes the risk for them of being unemployed again very high. The third cause is technology development level. The country nowadays is targeting the use of advanced technology in doing jobs. This situation causes those who work to be laid off because the workforce has been replaced by the use of increasingly sophisticated technology. Most companies and stores nowadays have already upgraded the use of machines in the manufacturing process of their products. This will cause them to hire less new employees, and they may even reduce the number of existing employees. The fourth is a minimum wage that is set too high. Most of the job applicants or even the employees itself demanded a minimum wage that is set too high. This can have a negative impact on employment. By pushing firms with low values added out of the market, the minimum wage increases inflows to unemployment. By introducing wage rigidity at the bottom of the wage distribution, and by preventing firms from offering lower wages, especially to new hires, the minimum wage reduces inflows to employment. Last but not least, the cause of unemployment in Indonesia is because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In Indonesia, the problem of unemployment highly increased during the COVID-19 pandemic. Most workers had to take measures to stop work during the pandemic. The emergency announcement from the World Health Organization (WHO) has also blocked their movement to the workplace, and this requires them to work from home. The quality of their work might be decreased as they have to adapt to a different environment, and this also can cause them to be fired. COVID-19 has had a negative impact on the world of work not only during the pandemic, but even until now. The impact can still be seen as people who were unemployed during the pandemic are still unemployed now. Next, we will talk about the impacts of unemployment to the society. The first impact is we can see it in income per capita. An unemployed person means that she or he does not have any income, and this will burden other people around them who work. In this situation, it will cause a decrease in per capita income. In other words, if the unemployment rate is high, the per capita income will decrease, but the income of those who are still working remain constant. The second impact is on the country income. Those people who are working will get a remuneration in the form of wages or salaries. The wages or salaries that they get are deducted from the income tax first before reaching the recipient's hand. Because the tax is a source of state revenue, the state's income tax revenue tend to decrease when fewer people are employed. The third impact is emerging social costs. The high rate of unemployment also will lead to expenditures in the form of social costs such as counseling fees, training costs, and security costs. With this, the issues of unemployment in Indonesia needs to be solved or overcome with various efforts. And the last impact is on psychological burdens. Those who are unemployed are most likely to have a psychological burden. This can be seen when the longer a person is unemployed, the greater the psychological burdens she or he will bear. A person who has a job usually will have a good social relationship in society, while someone who has not had a job for a long time will feel inferior because of their unclear status, and they also do not always socialize with other people.
Next, we will discuss about the solution of unemployment in Indonesia. The first solution is increasing the country economic growth to involve more qualities that are likely to be more effective in creating suitable jobs. At the same time, economic growth driven by certain sectors such as manufacturing or technology is able to reduce unemployment level in Indonesia positively. However, the government must be focused on economic development both within and outside the city in government. Therefore, Indonesia can further develop their country economy development by opening up the tourism sector and hiring more workers in the field. For example, Indonesia has many interesting tourist attractions, such as Bali Island, Komodo Island, Yogyakarta, and many more as attraction for foreign tourists, which will further improve the economy. The second solution is internship and work practice program. This is to curb an unemployment rate problem. Furthermore, this program can educate and provide indirect work experience to individuals or young people who may have no experience before educated and provide. As a result, internship and practical work program can also enhance the qualification of the individual and increase the opportunity for the individual to be accepted in employment. For instance, Indonesia also have an internship and practical work program that can help reduce the unemployment rate in the country, such as the BUMN ministry, which often various internship between example of contemporary intern, customer service, and teller, and so on, to help people who have no had a job. The third solution is opening job opportunity in the manufacturing industry. This is to reduce the unemployment rate. This is because in this area of globalization, the industry is increasing advanced and needed, especially in Indonesia, which have the most dominant manufacturing industry in the country. Therefore, employment should also be increased in
the industry to further strengthen the workforce so that a project runs smoothly and it completed on time. For instance, Indonesia has a several manufacturing company that can expand the recruitment of labor and work service such as PT Indofood, CBP, such as Makmur, which is a consumer good industry sector that has 50 factories spread across Indonesia. The third solution of unemployment in Indonesia is organized labor exchange widely. This is said to be so because many people are not aware of the organized or the opening of job vacancies in any sector if they are not expand not only using announcements such as a newspaper. However, in this area of increasing technology, all community are exposed to social media on various platforms such as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, and so on, to find out about the current issue and to find a job. Therefore, the government or certain party that organize labor exchange should be more careful and selective in using social media platforms to further expand the community that is looking for work. Moreover, certain parties that maintain the labor exchange should be more transparent and establish the physical and mental facility provided for job seeker will attract more interest to them.
Lastly is conclusion. Unemployment is a serious issue for any economic in all countries. This is said to be so because it can have a negative impact on the unemployed because they are unemployed and experience worse prospects for finding a new job. However, for overall development of economic, the government and individuals need to take initiative in increasing productivity and improving living standards. So that's all from our presentation today. Thank you.